You probably haven't said this out loud to anyone, but sometimes you genuinely feel left behind, like everyone else has figured something out, and you're just stuck in the same place. You watch success stories, you watch motivational videos, you listen to people saying anything is possible, but when the video ends, when you put the phone down, the only voice left in the room is this one. Why can't I do it? And that question slowly eats you from the inside. Where does this feeling come from? Let's be clear about one thing. This feeling usually doesn't come from facts. It comes from comparison. You look around and see someone your age bought a house, someone moved abroad, someone started a business, someone looks like they figured life out, and then you look at your own life. The problem isn't that you're truly failing. The problem is that you're comparing yourself to the wrong lives. Because what you see in others is their best moments, their final results, their highlight reel. But in your own life, you see the debt, the fear, the exhaustion. That's not a fair comparison. Social media doesn't tell you you are a failure. It does something far more dangerous. It makes you feel like everyone is moving forward except me. But the truth is simple. Social media doesn't show life. It shows selected moments. There's a common saying in America. People post highlights, not behind the scenes. No one posts. Their panic attacks, their unpaid bills, their 3 a.m. anxiety, the moments they felt completely lost. But you compare their best moments to your worst ones. And then you blame yourself. This part is important to understand. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to keep you alive. That's why it constantly looks for what's missing, focuses on risks, says you could have done better. You reach a goal and your brain immediately says, okay, but that's not enough. That's why some people look successful on the outside, but feel empty on the inside. The problem isn't you, it's how the brain works. The I'm too late lie. The most toxic thought behind the feeling of failure is this: it's too late now. That thought stops you from trying, drains your energy, keeps you frozen. But let's be honest, when you say I'm too late, what you really mean is, what if I try and fail again? There's a powerful line people often use in the US. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of confirming what you already fear. So the fear isn't failure. The fear is proving your worst thoughts about yourself right. Most people don't realize this, but the feeling of failure is actually an identity problem. If you define yourself only by your job, your income, your status, other people's approval, then every setback doesn't just hit your plans, it hits who you are. Strong people do something different. They separate identity from results. They can say, I'm not a failure, I just didn't get the result I wanted this time. That small difference changes everything mentally. The real question you need to ask. Have you ever honestly asked yourself this? What do I actually want? Or are you chasing what your family expects? What society calls success? What gets applause from others? Wrong goals create failure feelings faster than anything else. There's a saying coaches often use in America: wrong goals feel like failure, even when you win. If you run toward the wrong goal, even success will feel empty. How confidence actually comes back, not through motivation, definitely not through inspiration. Confidence comes from evidence. Every time you prove to yourself that you keep your word, you take small steps forward, you don't quit on yourself, your brain records this. I can trust this person, not big plans, small, consistent actions. In American discipline culture, there's a simple rule. Consistency beats intensity. The truth no one talks about. Here's something people rarely say. The ones who feel like failures are often the ones with the most potential. Because People with no dreams don't feel this pressure. People with no expectations don't question themselves. If you feel this weight inside, it means one thing. You know you're capable of more. That's not a weakness. That's energy, so it just needs direction. In the American startup world, there's a clear mindset. Failure is feedback. Failure doesn't define you. It informs you. It shows you what doesn't work, what needs to change, where to adjust. The problem isn't falling down. The problem is building your identity where you fell. If you feel like a failure right now, this is not the end of your story. For many people, this feeling becomes a turning point, because real change often starts when you feel stuck, you feel exhausted, you start questioning everything. Maybe what you're going through right now isn't a collapse. Maybe it's a rebuild. Remember this. Feeling like a failure doesn't mean you are won. Sometimes it simply means you're ready to turn in the right direction.